Friday Brew Review.
Welcome to Friday Brew Review. It's Friday, and you know what that means.
It's brew time.
Today, we are looking at
King Heffy. This was me and Tom's first craft beer.
our introduction into the world of craft beer. We had no idea what Hefeweizen was back then.
We didn't know what anything was.
We were not the bastions of knowledge that we are now.
Tom, can you tell the people at home here a little bit about roasted malt and what exactly that means for a beer flavor?
What it means is that the malt has been roasted.
So, anyway,
But why we picked it was
Whoa!
because whoa. That is one solid Hefeweizen. It just
Yeah.
couldn't wait to come out of the bottle.
could not wait.
Yeah.
The king waits for no one.
Yeah, well. We're gonna tell you more about this origin story in a bit here, but let's just
So yeah, as you can see, they are highly carbonated. This is a common thing in Hefeweizens. It's
Yeah.
basically really high carbonation in order to balance out the sweetness.
I'm gonna need your
As Hefeweizens, which are wheat beers, are often really low. They're really low hops. Oh, you'd think we would learn from our mistakes.
I'm just wondering, how do you avoid that, you know? Besides
Yeah.
going over to the sink.
So one thing I've noticed about House Sound, they fill their bottles like right up to the top. So
They don't want to
there's-
rip us off.
It's not, yeah, which I like, but there's not a lot of room for error there.
Yeah. Well,
Okay.
seriously though, how are you gonna avoid that? A really, really slow cap removal? I know I'm gonna get a massive head on this. I'm not even gonna try to avoid it.
It's wheat ale, you know that's happening.
Okay, so let's just give this a little...
So we're gonna pour that slowly.
No, not me. The king waits for no one. For no man!
The king waits for no man.
Yes. Alright, so I'm gonna go right ahead and give this a smell impression. Oh, okay.
Look at that kingly pour.
Wow, that is a kingly pour. You should be knighted for that. Okay. You know what?
Smell impression?
Smell impression?
Oh, it smells good. This is my favorite thing that House Sound does.
It's so aromatic. Like,
Yeah.
honestly, I feel like my nose hairs are just dancing right now. You know?
King Heffy, it'll make your nose hairs dance.
And it sticks around too. Yeah, they're doing a little
Oh yeah,
shake.
that is a good.
It's like Michael Flatley's in my nose right now. Okay, I'm just gonna. Can I do a? I'm gonna do my sip.
Let's
now.
do a sip.
All right. Now, I can't wait. I have to tell about this. What we used to think about the king, because it was such a shocker. Because neither of us had craft beers before.
Yeah,
And we were just in the BCL, and we were looking at that wall of craft brews, and knew no idea. And we're like, which one should we get? And we're looking at them, and you know, they always have these like funny little quirky names.
Yeah.
And
Look at
then
that.
we saw this one, the king.
The king, and we said we have to get the king.
It's gotta be the king. Like, look at this bottle. You got the droopy crown. It's called King Heffy. King Heffy. It was just amazing. It was just too good. So we just had to do it.
Yeah. So we brought it home and played Street Fighter,
Yeah.
and whoever lost had to take a big swig.
Because it was just so gross. At least to me, I thought it was disgusting at
yeah.
the time. But I think it was just it was more of a shock factor, you know.
I think it was a shock because it's delicious, but
It
yeah,
is really good.
it's also an almost 8%. So
It'll punish you in more ways than one, really.
I think I won the first round, and then I won the second round a little easier,
Yeah.
and then the third round a little easier.
Yeah. Oh man. Man, I could just take this foam right out. Take it out to dinner. But, you know, I almost remember it being more potent, more powerful, because, like, back in the day when I didn't have that refined palate that I do now,
Do I taste floral? Is that correct?
it was, you know. But, honestly, it was just, like, all I tasted was this weird, sharp kind of pine flavor, and it just, I didn't know what to do with it.
Yeah, a lot of clove going on in this.
Yeah. And there is, but it's really not as overpowering. I mean, now that I've had some more, you know, different kinds of beers, different kinds of wheat ales, it just doesn't seem like it's that intimidating anymore. And now I quite enjoy it. I really like that smell, honestly.
Yeah, I've heard people call it banana bread beer.
It's
just
it's so sweet.
Yeah.
It doesn't really taste as sweet as it smells, but like I've never had a beer that was so pleasant, like for the nose. It's almost more pleasant for the nose than it is for the tongue. You know what I mean?
It's an experience.
It is.
You smell, you sip.
It's a kind of a cause effect action going on. All right, so
Mid impression.
mid impression. We're not even midway, really. You know, this guy is aggressive, but my mid impression, you know, it's getting better. Actually, you know, every sip is better. So, what do you think? You want to take another? You know what? You want to do a big swig? You want to do a midway
I
big
think
swig?
we're gonna need a few.
Let's do yeah.
The
'cause
midway big swig.
especially with one of this guy's caliber, we're gonna need at least a couple big swigs.
Yeah, House Sound aren't messing around. They make 1 liter bottles.
And when you're dealing with the king, you know,
You know.
you just know. There's my punishment.
Yeah, it's quite strong. It's an Imperial. It's 8%. It is strong,
Yeah.
flavor wise.
Yeah.
I really punched that big swig.
It,
Really rich. It's extremely rich.
it is rich, but it
Not overbalanced, out of balance or anything. It's
Yeah.
just when you do the big swig, all the richness kind of
out the back of the head.
out the back
Yeah.
and then comes back in.
Well, you know, honestly, I found it kind of smooth, personally.
It is smooth.
And you know, I was expecting
I
more
agree.
of a punch. I remember more of a punch. It's almost disappointing to my memory because
It's just because of the carbonation.
yeah, which is the balancing act here.
The balancing that's going on here is the carbonation is kind of taking out. It's balancing out the richness.
Yeah.
I think it would be a bit too much if it wasn't for that.
You know, and honestly, I think that that's another thing where I just was like, oh, pine tree when I was, you know, younger. It's like, it was that carbonation because it makes it really kind of sharp, kind of it doesn't change the flavor all too much, but it really adds to that kind of really sharp.
And wheat beer
Profile.
is sweet, but it's sharp at the same time.
All right. What did you? Well, I guess okay. We already covered that one. Yeah.
So, what would you eat with this?
What would I eat? Well, you know, I don't think I'd eat much. I mean, I just had a meatball sub, and I kind of regret it, because this is a meal. This is a meal in a glass. You know, you don't drink a King Heffy if you're gonna eat a bunch of food.
Well, I don't think you have to drink the whole thing at once. They give you the option to seal it up right like that.
Yeah. You
Save
know,
it for later.
When you got that on the bottle, that you're not messing
Yeah.
around, I guess.
Although I have sealed these up halfway through and drank them the next day, and they were pretty flat. So it's for an evening.
Yeah.
You want to finish this once you open it in the evening you had it.
That's really good to know. Oh man. All right. So I feel like that we should do something to commemorate the fact that this is our first ever craft beer.
Yeah.
Do you think we should chug it?
Not yet.
Not yet. Alright.
Not when there's that much left.
Yeah.
It's not even. That's not even it.
So this is a brewery out of Squamish, BC.
Yeah, House Sound is in Squamish.
And
I know House Sound is a place around here, BC area.
Yeah, for if there happens to be any viewers that aren't in the Vancouver area, that's where we're located. So,
Yeah, so this is one of our local breweries, House Sound.
have you had other house sounds?
I've had a few. They're pretty good. House Sound has always held a special place in my heart just because it was the first craft brewery that I tried.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I remember one fateful evening when I was playing Buffalo Club, and I ended up having to chug an entire King Heffy after I'd already had a few drinks, and the fact that I could have gone through that experience and still found this beer to be delicious, it's really a tribute,
I think that's
you know,
that's saying something.
because if you were there, you know, it wasn't a pretty affair. I'll just put it to you that way. Let's not go into any more detail. All right, you know what? It's really. I want to do a second midway impression because I'm really starting to feel something going on here. It's getting really full. Are you getting really full?
Yes.
Like,
this. Yeah.
I'm having thoughts of doing the second big swig, and I'm not. I don't know if I'm gonna be ready for it.
No, you don't want to down one of these in 10 minutes.
Yeah.
This is something to enjoy over an entire evening.
So, you know, not a 10-minute review, but
But no, it's.
you know, I'm gonna do the second big swig anyways for you guys, and we'll see what that does.
All right.
Are you in?
What is that gonna do?
Well, we'll find out.
We will. Well, it did something, apparently.
Oh man, it's just filling me right up from here all the way up. Yeah.
With Imperial ales, you're always going to get the richness.
Yeah, and the sharp kind of flavors.
Yes.
It's permeating, and the carbonation. You know, you got to remember too that the carbonation is very strong, as we mentioned, and that's another reason why it's filling us up, because we're swallowing a lot more air, and you know, so make sure you get your burps going as well while you're drinking this. Okay. You know, just get someone to pat your back or whatever works for you.
You gotta get a pal to pat your back, get your burps out.
Yeah.
Enjoy a King Half.
Then you're good to go.
You're good to go.
And you're good to go.
Yeah.
Okay. Thomas, would you recommend King Half? And if you did, what kind of a night would it be? I know you mentioned, you know, it's for a whole night affair.
Okay. Here's the thing.
Well,
I
come the burps.
frequently recommend the King.
Frequently.
Yes.
Okay.
This is probably my most recommended beer.
Oh.
Yeah. I don't know why. It's always a good night when the King is in court, and that's what I usually say.
Yeah. And if you ever have the opportunity to try this on tap, it's even better on tap.
It's amazing.
I don't know where you guys are located. If you're in Vancouver, I know the Alibi Room used to have it, but I don't think they do anymore, so that's a shame. Hopefully it comes back. I'm going to pour the rest of this in here. Closing comments, Tom?
I shall finish my pour.
Oh, man. See, there's so much carbonation that even the entrails are making me look like a fool with my head percentage. You know what I mean?
No, wheat beers always have a high head percentage.
A high head percentage. Their head
Aw.
count is high. Alright.
So we finish off with a final big swig.
I'm gonna think about finishing off with a chug. It's a big one, folks.
It's a full glass.
And, well, what would that do?
What'll that do?
Yeah.
I guess we'll find out. Okay,
Oh
so...
my goodness, is this happening? Okay.
Is it happening?
It's
happening.
happening.
Okay. So, everyone,
Everybody.
enjoy the King.
Yes.
Look for the King.
But do it overnight. Don't be a fool. cool.
Don't make a 10-minute brew review and finish the whole thing. That's just stupid.
Oh my goodness. Carbonation. Oh, carbonation. I need a burp pal, Tom. Yeah, thank you. Thank you. Oh, thank you. Okay, we're good.
We're good?
I don't know if we're good.
Well, I'll tell you what's still good. The King.
By House Sound. Pick her up.
Pick her up.
All right.
right.
I'll see you guys next week. I'm not doing that again. Hope you enjoyed Friday Brew Review. See you guys next time.
See you next time.